Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Mole Chap here, coming at you another StarCraft commentary. We got another game between ArtofTerran and Julyzerg, and I just wanted to play this game for you guys because we just did the MSL 100 game. This is not from the MSL 100 series, but actually, let me just double check to make sure this isn't like another one of the MSL 100 that I just haven't looked down the list or something like that. But oops, sorry about that. I was trying to Control F my file. I don't think this is one of the top 100 series, but I think when I was downloading games for the top 100 series, I think I accidentally downloaded this one because it's the same matchup and the same same set of players. And this is actually in the round of 8 though, so they must have both gotten out of their group in round of 16? Is that what that said? Round of 8? I have to actually look at... Actually no, I just remember I tried to look up the bracket for this this tournament before, and the bracket image file had been deleted over the years because there's an old like photo bucket file or something like that. So let me look again actually in the background real quick, just to double check, see if I can find out what's going on with this, because I just realized that I thought it was the same round, but then it said 8, and so I'm like, wait, what? So I'll just double check in the background here. But oh, I did find a bracket. Okay, cool. So this is because there's losers bracket. That's what happened. Okay. So basically, Julyzerg beat ArtofTerran in the round of 16 that we saw. We saw that game on the MSL Top 100, and then he went up against in the round of 8, and this is a double elimination bracket though. So ArtofTerran beat someone named StarCraft Side in the losers bracket, and Julyzerg actually went down to the losers bracket and ended up against ArtofTerran again. And it looks like this is single elimination at this stage. So that one game that we saw with ArtofTerran was where Julyzerg won previously. Now ArtofTerran could get his revenge and could actually beat Julyzerg here. I'm going to show the map. This is called... Whoa, what is going on with this view, ladies and gentlemen? They were really squished for a minute there. We're getting a little bit of a double view here, so you can see Julyzerg trying to kind of eat through the middle of the map. This is Detonation F. There is a long land route, as you can see, kind of around the side of the map to get to your opponent. But if you mine out the scant mineral patches in the middle, you can make the rush distance a lot shorter. Basically, you're going to cut it into, if you mine out both those patches, patch in both spots, you can make the rush distance 1/3 of what it is, basically. And so it is a land map. We're not doing another air map here, but there's some sort of air elements in that there is a long distance to get to your opponent on this map. So yeah, ArtofTerran is going to try and get his revenge here. Now, I didn't really talk about him too much in the previous game, so I'm just going to touch on him real quick. Which basically, I mean, there's a reason why we haven't really heard of him much, and that's another reason why I want to do this game, is because he doesn't really pop up very much in too many tournaments, and so this is kind of another opportunity to see what he was made of. And yeah, so this is he was basically a player. His career percentage. His career win percentage was about 35%, so he was pretty bad in that sense. But that was over the course of like 3 years of play. He played a lot of qualifiers in like 2005 and 6. Never really got into anything. But in 2004, this was his peak, you know, when he actually got into a couple MSLs in a row. And I won't spoil exactly how far he got into those MSLs, because I don't want to say, if I say like, oh, he got to the finals, then you'll know that he beats Julyzerg here, because this is the losers bracket. But he didn't, I guess I could say he didn't win anything. He was never really close to winning any of those tournaments. So, but this is still the point in time where he was one of those players that was kind of a low-level Star League player, you know, but never really made it. But this is a kind of a point in time where he was probably considered up and coming, you know, had a lot of potential, and so he could, you know, theoretically beat Julyzerg here, even though Julyzerg was an absolute beast in 2004, and you know was probably the best Zerg in 2004, if not one of the best, especially versus Terran. But you know, he just lost to Uv, so and you know, Uv is of course another beast altogether. He's the cheater Terran, but you know. Anyways, point being, you can't quite count ArtofTerran out. However, Julyzerg definitely does have the advantage here. So now we are getting to see a little bit more normal build play from these players than what we did on the air map. And just as I say that, we do have a Hydra stand popping down. Now that is that he has 2 bases, right? I think it's 2 base play, 2 base Hydras, or 2 base lurkers more than likely. So actually, ArtofTerran is wanting to mine out some stuff here as well to make room for his bio. So like I said, we're seeing more normal-ish play because in 2004 the main strat as Terran was just to get 2 barracks, make some Marines. Once your stim finished, you got 2 medics and 2 firebats, and you push out. And sometimes it was with a smaller group earlier. This is a little bit bigger group, I would say, just a tiny bit bigger, maybe another couple Marines essentially. Sometimes you had players squeeze out, you know, just 1 firebat and 1 medic, and they'd go with 5 Marines, and it was a very, very quick attack. So this is a little bit later, but a little bit stronger. He's got 3 firebats there. He is, if he micros properly, he is immune to Zerglings, because 3 firebats clumped up on his bio ball will just basically take out almost infinite Zerglings, basically with a couple medics there. Now Julyzerg he kind of poked at those minerals, but he never did completely mine it out. However, ArtofTerran has brought his own SCVs to mine it out. It looks like it's only 8 minerals or something like that, or no, not 8. I think it was 12 or something. I don't know. It was double digits, but small enough that he can actually mine it out with 2 SCVs. And so he's going to be able to get through here and into Julyzerg's natural. Now it's a little bit of a dangerous spot to squeeze through those minerals because it's a small choke with that 1 mineral patch mined out. And if you know, make a mistake. Oh, and actually Julyzerg, I didn't notice this before, Julyzerg actually took a bottom right expansion as well. He could cut down that direction and aim for that base instead, but Julyzerg is kind of making sunkens at each spot. But basically, if he does run through that gap in the minerals into Julyzerg's natural, he's a little bit stuck, because then it's a small choke point to get back out of that spot again as well if you deal with any trouble. Julyzerg has 4 sunks at that base. He's getting a 4th sunk at the other base. So 8 sunken colonies forced here by the small bio squad is going to buy ArtofTerran enough leeway to get another command center going, which is, you know, usually I feel like you don't get command centers in 2004. Terrans didn't get command centers until a little bit later. It's just a sense off the top of my head. I could be wrong about that though. I don't know the build timings or anything like that. He did get a little bit more bio as well, but I think he's feeling like, okay, look, I forced a lot of sunken colonies here. He's got 3 bases. I need at least a 2nd base, so he's going to get another command center. And in the meantime, we did have him just kind of poking and prodding with some Marines in that natural, but forced back. And Julyzerg has bought enough time with these to get his lurkers up, and oh no, some lurkers had gone in from behind, and he had spotted. He kind of poked those with some of his Marines earlier, and he actually goes in with a scan and takes out 2 lurkers. Oh man, he was hoping to get some damage done with those lurkers, but now that means he's 2 lurkers short on his defenses as well. If ArtofTerran decides he wants to go in and stim in and try and take out those sunkens. If there's no lurkers at one of those locations, looks like he's morphing another lurker there. He's got a couple kind of out on the map. He's not just putting him right on top of the sunkens. He's kind of positioning him out to just be a little bit more tricksy about it. Make sure ArtofTerran is a little bit more on his toes. And yeah, so ArtofTerran now getting a starport. He's going to go ahead and probably just chill. I think the starport indicates that we're looking at, he wants to posture, get his economy going, get his bio ball going, but not mess with the lurkers. Oh my goodness, is he going to do a slow... Wait, what's going on? Where are these lurkers going? Oh no, one of his lurkers get caught over here! It's going to run back in behind that mineral, and I can say, like, that choke between those minerals and the edge of the map is just perfect. But what are these lurkers doing? He actually has loaded them up into an overlord, a slow overlord on the side of the map. Now, he may have speed about to finish. Obviously, this is meant to be a drop, but it's like, I was just thinking, like, oh man, this is just so slow. Why wouldn't he meet up with the overlord closer to the destination and then drop it? But he must be researching overlord speed, because otherwise it's going to take forever for that overlord to actually get get to its destination and do a drop. But a couple lurkers dropped in the right place at the right time, or basically at any time, can be very destructive to the Terran, so he's going to go for that. ArtofTerran just trying to kind of close things up. This is really cool. He's kind of keeping his army right next to those minerals so that he can kind of keep an eye on that little choke point. If Julyzerg tries to squeeze through, he can pounce on it. Now, Julyzerg could theoretically, again, go around the map. Again, this map has routes kind of around the sides where you can see that he could go around and get those lurkers out on the map. And there's the Overlord speed is finished upgrading. He's going, is he running with 2? Oh, wait, is one of those a bait Overlord? Maybe? I don't know. He could just think it's scouting. Usually, I don't think... Actually, I'm not sure, but I don't think at this stage of the game they would have Overlord speed yet. Okay, he's actually managed to squeeze those lurkers out into the middle section of the map. We have +1 weapons, by the way, for ArtofTerran, so he's going to be looking in good shape. And we're going to see a double drop, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I thought it might be. I wasn't sure if one of them was a decoy, but he's actually going to drop at the natural expansion and in the main at the same time with lurkers behind both mineral lines at the same moment. And ArtofTerran is not really responding very well to these. He lost a few SCVs in the natural, it looks like 1 or 2 in the main as well, before really truly responding to that. He's not mining at all right now, actually, because he's had to run his SCVs from both locations. And they're all just kind of clumped up around that refinery, just kind of trying to take their turn for that. But he's going to be able to clear this out before too long. Actually killing off the academy, which is interesting. I mean, he can kill off the academy and then go for a comset station maybe, and won't be able to rebuild it. But I don't think he's quite going to get the comsat station killed off with those lurkers before he can take it out. Maybe though? I don't know. Oh, he's actually going to just pull the lurker up into the Overlord after it gets shot by the tank once or twice to save it. He's going to save it for another day. He's just going to put the half-eaten candy back in the wrapper and just leave it for another time, you know, when it can be, you know, sometimes you eat part of your food and then later on you get hungry again and you're like, oh wait, I've got the leftovers. And so anyway, I think that lurker is not seeing its last attack is my point, because I think he's probably going to wait for the right moment and run it back into the main base or something like that. Drop it off again. He's got a spire down. Now he has a bunch of lurkers. He's got the spire down. I'm really curious to see what happens with this. So, and we do see that Overlord still next to the natural. I don't know if any of the lurkers escaped in that as well, and maybe he's going to be able to drop those off again in a crucial moment. He's got more Overlords heading towards the main, so we might be seeing another 2-pronged or even a 3-pronged attack. You know, maybe even 4 prongs? It's a crazy amount of prongs, but it might just happen. Anyway, well, this Overlord is not going to be a prong, that's for sure, because it's going to get intercepted by those Marines. It looks like we've got a prong coming from ArtofTerran this time, a dropship heading towards the enemy base. Is it going to get spotted? It's going to fly right over this drone that was going over to a new base area, and so he knows it's there. He's got Scourge. Did he notice it though? It looks like he's not noticed it because he's not responding. Wait, he's pulling Zerglings back. Maybe he is responding. The Scourge are on their way back finally. He's definitely spotted at this point in time, but it might be a little bit too late. The Marines are going to be able to unload completely. Is he actually going to find a spot though? So he's going to unload in this corner, and the Marines are, sorry, the Zerglings are actually there to intercept. He does managed to land the Scourge onto the dropship with only 4 of the 8 units being properly exited and deplaned, and so that gets taken out pretty quickly. I think maybe if he just committed to just dropping behind the mineral line, that might have been a better option. Maybe he was worried about getting spotted, or maybe he knew the Zerglings were headed to the main. I'm not sure what happened there, but doesn't end up quite going the right way for ArtofTerran is what it's looking like there. So too bad for that. It could have been a nice little counterplay. See, he's got a large clump of lurkers here. He's just using it to kind of control the middle of the map. It's really interesting to see that they are treating this like just the only route. Oh wow, whole bunch of stuff coming to the side actually. I don't know how. Oh, they got here around the side. Of course, like I keep talking about, this map has sideways, ways around the side that you can go into to circumvent the middle road. He's actually run the lurk. Oh, he's used the lings as a sacrifice. He's running the lurkers into the main. He's got 1, 2, and now just 1 actually. I kind of got ahead of myself. Accidentally was correct. 1 lurker camped on the top of the ramp. The others go up in the main to try and target those SCVs. And while he's running his forces back to deal with the stuff in his main, Julyzerg goes in with the rest of his lurkers that were camped outside the natural, forces a lift on that as well. And once again, ArtofTerran is not minding at all right this moment. This is looking very, very bad for ArtofTerran. This is a single, a best of one elimination match, by the way, in the losers bracket. So whoever loses this game is going to be eliminated completely, and the other person is still going to have to fight on through several rounds to get back to the finals, basically, in order to try and win. But this is not looking good for ArtofTerran. And I'm actually looking at the bracket. I'm not going to spoil what happens after this with the winner of this game, because it's a really interesting tournament, and maybe I will try and go back and cast the rest of this tournament at some point. That might be kind of a fun thing to do. And we're going to have an exit of the game by ArtofTerran. Julyzerg's going to take the second win in this tournament. Poor ArtofTerran, man. He happens to go up against the best ZVT of all time at the time, and lose in the first round, and now again in the second round, in the losers bracket round, after just winning one game in the losers bracket to try and advance and keep his hopes alive there against StarCraft side. Imagine naming yourself StarCraft in the game of StarCraft. Imagine naming yourself Zerg, the Zerg. Anyways, yeah, so a nice little fun match there. We got to see a little bit more of ArtofTerran. We got to learn a little bit more about him. And yeah, he, like I said, he doesn't come anywhere near winning this MSL because he's now eliminated. He does get into the following MSL, and he gets a little bit farther, if I remember correctly. But this is kind of his short time in the sun. He made a little bit of a name for himself. His name pops up here and there. I think he might have played in the Pro League in this time period a little bit as well, but ended up being a little bit of a flash in the pan. No pun intended, because if you had Flash was definitely not a flash in the pan. He was stuck around for a long time, but anyway, hope you all enjoyed this game. Thanks very much for watching. GG.